Ladies and gentlemen, it is the first day of the new cup. It is Sunshine Cup, and I am spoiling y'all with a double dark team here at the very beginning of the season, or the very beginning of this league. I will say games were tough, very tough. These are not Metamon, although I really, really like Raticate. If I think the Shadow one, I don't know if I have a Shadow one or not. If I have a Shadow one, I might make it. But also that's a lot of dust, and I definitely have used a lot of dust this season making stuff, so maybe I won't. But this cup is a Talonflame cup, just like we said in the last video. It is a Flygon cup, probably more than even Talonflame, just because Talonflame's so good that it's being hated so hard. But yeah, with going into that, let's go ahead and get into our team. It's Talonflame in the lead with both of the flying attacks for your charge moves. That's going to be Fly and Brave Bird. Basically just saying the incinerate damage is enough fire damage to have for anything, and you really want that coverage, and not only the coverage, you really want that Brave Bird to really hit things for neutral, hit things hard for neutral. With that in the back, we have Raticate, Alolan Raticate, which is a dark type, and then also Obstagoon in the back. Obstagoon is nerfed this season because Counter got nerfed and it really doesn't have any other moves. Also Lick got nerfed, which technically I guess it does have a Lick as well. But you want to use Counter. It's going to be good against things like Dunsparce, Licky Licky, which are used a ton, and actually a surprising amount of like Credilli in the meta as well, it seems. So if they ever switch into any of those type of mon, which a ton of people switch into Dunsparce, you can just straight counter swap into Obstagoon, and that's going to be pretty good. Cross Chop also super effective against that. And then things that resist the counter, you can, or I'm sorry, that resist fighting, you can just throw the Night Slash into. And then Raticate is your safe swap. It has Quick Attack and Crunch, which it surprisingly gets to those moves very quickly. I mean, Quick Attack giving a lot of energy, and then Crunch doing a lot of neutral damage to basically everything in this cup. Sometimes you run into things that it's very good against as well. Like Trevenant is around as well. So, all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, if you haven't definitely hit that subscribe button, and let's go. Also, if they're running Trevenant, they're in some big trouble because our whole team is good against it. All right, Flygon lead, very bad lead, so I decided to switch into the Raticate. I think this is the first game of me playing this team because I have Raticate in the non-safe swap position from where I usually put my safe swap in the third position there. So interesting for me to have it there. I think I could have actually gone one more quick attack here. First game of the day, and also in probably 2 days. So we got a ton of energy before switching out of that Flygon matchup, so now we're able to actually make some big pressure moves against this Talonflame. If he plays into our hand, we can actually go for another one there. Technically, I should just let this go because we don't have a move on our own Talonflame. Now I can just go for sort of a farm down. I'm definitely going to have to shield just in case it's the Brave Bird. Almost everyone using the Fly Brave Bird combo here, but I have seen some Flame Charge, which is interesting in its own right, but tough. This is where having Brave Bird is really nice because I can definitely just throw something huge into this Licky Licky. Yeah, I don't care too much about this. This is definitely a Body Slam, which is nerfed. Licky Licky, another mod I definitely want to try out. Maybe I could use it on this team with instead of the Obstagoon. Or, to be fair, Dunsparce is so good. I probably would end up using Dunsparce. You'd have to remember, just like I had to remember in the last video, Flygon is not a flying type, so it's actually taking neutral damage from these counters, which are definitely adding up. We get the full Incinerate through, and now all I can do is, I guess I could have thrown a Fly there. It looked like they were actually at 1 HP, but I know they weren't going to get to a move because they threw on the Obstagoon, right? All right, Dunsparce swap in. We definitely have the counter to that, just like I said in the intro there. Able to just go into this hard counter matchup, basically. And it is pretty close whether or not you live this, but I'm definitely going to live. So, oh, okay, I go for the shield. I guess it's okay because we are going to be able to throw this Night Slash as neutral into things. I obviously wanted to go for a tad bit more of a farm down there, but did not get it. Going to go back into the Superior here. Superior is going to be very easy for Talonflame to deal with, but the fact that he's getting a little bit of energy here is not great, and I have a shield disadvantage, but they aren't going to really do much into the Talonflame with the Superior. Great undercharge there from the opponent. I decide I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird here, but I'm going to just bait for the Fly. And then I'm going to switch in Raticate. I want some sort of advantage here. Now our switch timers are very badly misaligned. Again, if you do have a purified Raticate, I think I end up going for Hyper Fangs here. I should definitely only be going for Crunches. I did check that later. Crunch is going to be just a better move overall. If you do have the Return, aka the purified version of Raticate, definitely use Return. It is better. As far as just damage is just raw damage is concerned. But otherwise, if you have Hyper Fang, you probably in the neutrals, any neutral matchup, you're going to be wanting to go Crunch. So Credilli is a weird one here. It has the possibility of going for a Rock Slide. They end up not throwing until I throw, so then I was like, okay, I'm going to dip after this, I think, and try to make them throw energy onto this Raticate. Raticate is pretty bulky, so going to be able to handle a lot of moves pretty easily here. I do end up going for the Crunches. They definitely aren't going to shield the first one, but they have to shield the second one, as it does pressure them to get KO'd, basically. Bit of a bad timing here from the opponent, but they also can't really afford to go for good timing necessarily because they don't know where I'm at, and I could possibly get to another Crunch if they go for the good timing. Now, unfortunately for them, I definitely wouldn't have gotten to it. I was 1 away if they had, or I was 3 away, and then they threw on bad timing there. And then they have the Chandelure, and I'm like, shit. I decided to come back in with the Talonflame. Now, why did I do this? Because I want them to throw a little bit of energy here, and I want to try to take this last shield. They end up throwing the Overheat, and I assumed they were going to switch into Credilli here because there's no real reason for them to throw an Overheat and stay in. It already reduces their attack. The last thing they want to do is stay in that matchup and take that damage, basically. I'm pretty sure you're going to live the Grass Knot here, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get to a Night Slash. Oh, now we definitely will because I think we're 1 away. Yeah, that's GG. All right, Jump Left lead. Surprisingly, they're going into a Kecleon. Not something I've seen before. I don't know what this thing has. I think it has Ice Beam, actually. Aerial Ace, Ice Beam. I think that's actually the moveset. I'm pretty sure I heard someone say that on stream before. Probably double check that on pvpoke.com, but I'm pretty sure that's true, although I don't think you'll ever run into a Kecleon. It's the only Kecleon I ran into. I decided to go for a lot of energy here. Maybe they think I'm going to throw a Hyper Beam or something. You never know. Although they probably never shield this Jump Left knowing that we do have Talonflame in the back. So weird for them to shield this. And then we get the boost, which makes them basically want to throw a move here. Great for us. Now, it is very possible that this Jump Left does have Acrobatics. I know that I was saying I prefer Acrobatics on a Jump Left in this cup. I didn't see a lot of Jump Left today, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's the only one I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw 1 or 2 more, and then we had a coaching session as well, and my student never saw a single Jump Left, so not sure how popular Jump Left is. I guess they're just really afraid of the Talonflames, but interesting enough, a lot of people are just going for the hard counters on the Talonflame too, so it can be really hard to run Talonflame as well, which is interesting. Jump Left, while it does have Fairy Wind, it is not a Fairy type, so definitely still going to be throwing Crunch into that. No need to throw any coverage type move. If Crunch is there, it's going to be better than neutral. I do decide to shield here just in case they do have Acrobatics. They end up throwing an Energy Ball, which does make me think they do have Acrobatics, but then I'm just going to go for a farm down there because they're already out of energy. Quagsire making its triumphant return to a league, and then Zygarde 50%. Is it the 50? Yeah, because the 10% is the dog. And then this is the Hydra. I personally never seen this mon at all, I think. Technically, I own one of these. I own a 50%. I think I'm at like 55 Zygarde cells, so another 145 to go, and I definitely don't have the will to try to get more. I am trying to just take shields basically from here. This thing, I really can't have it into the Talonflame. Now, they do come back in with the Quagsire. They are able to get a lot of energy here. Sorry about that. I'm working... It doesn't matter. All right. The Quagsire, you have to remember Mudshot was nerfed, so it is going to take a little bit more to get to its moves. I believe it takes 6 and 5 instead of the original... No. I think it takes 5. I think it takes 5 to get to Aqua Tail instead of the usual. It took 4. They do come back in. They do come in with a Talonflame, and I decide to throw before they can throw. They do let it go. It does make sense. They do have another mon here. I think I'm gonna probably. I think you live in Aquatail. I remember saying that to myself. I was like, if they go for Aquatail, I definitely live. And so we'll just make them throw a Stone Edge if they have it. And then Switch is obviously up for us. They're not going to get to 2 moves before we get to 1. The only question is Night Slash going to be enough to KO here? Because we know that counter damage did get nerfed. So, but it is a Shadow Quagsire at the end of the day, and it is going to take a lot of damage, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get KO'd by this Night Slash. Abomasnow. A surprising amount of Abomasnow in this meta, for sure. Obstagoon, obviously, hard countering Licky as they can't even go for the Shadow Ball, which is their big hitting move because it is resisted by the Dark typing, and then we are doing super effective damage with counter and with cross chop. So Abomasnow is usually good in these type of metas. It was good last meta as well. Last time Sunshine Cup was around as well. But it usually has some really weak matchups, so it is risky to use. But in the cases where it is good, it is fantastic. So I did say that in the team building video as well. You can go check that out. It was the video previous to this one. At the end of this video, it'll be on the cards, so it'll show you if you want to click that at the end of this one. But it's very good against Jumpluff. It's very good against Quagsire. It's not great against sort of the rollout mon. Specifically, Dunsparce does have Rock Slide, which is also super effective against it. So yeah, it has some bad matchups. It has some amazing matchups. It's obviously double weak to Talonflame, which is the strongest mon in this meta. But remember, it was always weak to Vigoroth when Vigoroth was literally on every team the last time this meta was around. So I'm very glad Vigoroth is gone. It allows for more mon in the meta, to say the least. This meta is definitely probably 3 mon deeper than last season. But Talonflame is the clear best. But there also is a clear counter to it, which is Flygon and Quagsire. So actually, I think Shadow Swampert is a sleeper pick in this meta as well with Sludge Bomb. I think it's just very, very strong. It's obviously very frail as well. But anyways, Clodsire, strongest mon in the Open Great League. Able to show its face here as well, considering that much as well. There was one Clodsire that had Stone Edge, and I think I did beat it, but I was very surprised. All right, Miltank. It has Rollout, Body Slam, and Ice Beam, so those are the things you definitely have to watch out for. If you're running Flygon, you definitely have to be scared of that Ice Beam. It is going to one-shot you. I do think Shadow Flygon is probably the best mon in the meta overall, considering meta choices, because it's very anti-meta, but it's strong enough to be in the meta as well. Beats Talonflame, beats Quagsire, beats Jumpluff, kind of. It does. You just need shields to beat all of those things, so it's just a matter of finding something to pair with it. I'll come out with a video for sure using Shadow Flygon, since I do think it is the best mon. But the first video I wanted to make was definitely this Double Dark team. At the beginning of the meta, while people are still trying to figure it out. This Sludge Bomb probably KOs. Actually, it's close. Crunch definitely KOs, and I think we reach it at the CMP. Yeah, and Raticate wins CMP against Clodsire. Nice. I think I actually have a rank 2 Raticate, and I don't think it's this one. I think this guy is like a rank 8 from years ago. I mean, from like 1999. What the heck am I saying? 2019. All right, they switch into Licky, switch into Obstagoon. You guys have seen this a million times. Now, if they did have Lick, OP would be Obstagoon, triple resisting that Ghost typing with its normal and Dark typing. But it does have Rollout this time around, but unfortunately, you're going to be able to just power through it. They do come in with the Breloom, and it has Force Palm, I believe is the name of the move. They definitely have a lot of energy here, so they're probably not willing to let it go, but you see how much that Incinerate did? One more might barely not kill it. They do come in with the Dunsparce. Fortunately for us, Dunsparce doesn't do a ton of charge attack damage, so I end up not having to shield this, and actually, I think technically you'd live 2, but I definitely want to get through this matchup dealing almost all the HP to this, because it is going to be hard for Talonflame to deal with it. and they go for good timing here. I didn't CMP them there. That's just 3 of their attacks, and they're using odd number. They're using 3 turn moves, and we're using 2 turn moves. So when they go 3, we get in 5, but we can't get under that without. Well, we couldn't have made it to our move, which is why I knew it wasn't CMP. The Breloom probably going to die to this. So Dynamic Punch means it's going to be this Breloom is double fighting, and fighting is going to be good against like Dunsparce and Licky Licky. So trying to really punish the safe swaps with Breloom, it seems like. So, and Credillia as well. Very bad against Talonflame though. I do like to let them get the first move through, because if they do end up throwing the Brave Bird, then I can throw the Fly, and then I'm going to be up energy, and they're going to be in a really weird position. They do end up coming with Clodsire. I already am going to come in with my Raticate, but if they're going to allow me to get a Brave Bird off here, I'm definitely going to go for it. And we are up energy on the other Talonflame as well. We still have 1 Incinerate lead of it. No, we have 2 Incinerate lead of energy against their Talonflame, which means we are, I believe we're at a Fly. Actually, we might not be because of the Brave Bird, right? 55, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not. We're 1 Incinerate away, I think. They end up coming back in with the Talonflame. I decide I can go for 7 here. I think I ended up going for 6. I don't know. I just want to throw back-to-back. And I definitely have enough HP to get here for the back-to-back for sure. I go for just 1 quick attack there, because if I went for 2, the damage actually would have registered onto me from the Incinerate, and I wouldn't have got that move off. They end up going for an extra Incinerate, which I did not think they were going to go for, which is why I went for mine. I shouldn't have probably CMP'd here, but we end up winning CMP there, and that's great for me. And then I'm going to just throw Brave Bird in as a Gastrodon. And while it is a water type, it is actually not great against Talonflame unless it does have Water Pulse, which, if you remember a few videos ago, Yusai was definitely using the... I just realized I'm barely on camera here. Was using the Water Pulse Gastrodon there. Oranguru. I actually think Oranguru is pretty good. I still don't have one of my own, which, not great, but... Eventually I'll have one. Someone, like I said in many videos ago, someone at work said they would trade me, but I've just been so swamped at work. I cannot get out to their desk and trade them. It's crazy at work right now. But eventually we will trade that Obstagoon, and I will that Oranguru, and I will have an Oranguru. They end up shielding here, but I get to another cross chop, so they're gonna have to go for another shield. And then maybe I can come in with Raticate, unless they're pretty low. Oh, they actually end up letting it go, so we get the shield advantage and everything. They think they get a huge advantage there, getting that down. But now I know we are all in on this Raticate. I've already decided I can just sack this this Talonflame here and go all in on Raticate, because Raticate's going to be taking so little damage from the Oranguru that I don't care about the Oranguru versus the Talonflame matchup. I'm just going to try to get into the Raticate matchup. But maybe this is the wrong decision, but this is my process of thinking there. And I knew he was going to get 1 shot, but I do want to make sure they use the energy here. 2 times super effective, yeah. They end up switching. I just need to be 2 away from the next crunch against the... So I'm going to go for 3 here. Oh, they have 4 turn move. I have 2 turn move. I probably should have gone 1, because it looks like I did hit 100 energy there. And then I'm going to go 1 more again here, trying to just get as much energy as I can before going back into the Magcargo matchup, because I don't think you're going to get to a move as long as I throw the crunch. And yeah, get there in 4, and that's going to be GG. Vigoroth. So in the old days I mean last season, when they got to 7 here, this could be a Rock Slide, but it cannot be a Rock Slide with the new counter being nerfed. So I decided to let that Body Slam go, and then I'm going to throw a Fly here. Could be a Brave Bird, they don't know. Just Brave Bird would 1-shot here. They do go for the shield. I'm going to go for the next Fly, but they're obviously going to outpace me to the next Body Slam. And I decide, okay, we'll go to the 1s. I do win the 1 shield scenario here, and I am going to end up with a bit of energy going against this matchup. I'm going to be 1 Incinerate away from a Fly. I might even be 1 Incinerate away from a Brave Bird. But I do need to make sure to think about them being weak to Talonflame in the back. So I probably should come in with Raticate here. It could still be like an Obstagoon if they are weak to it. It would make sense as well, being a grass type here in the back. If they are going for ABA, ends up being a Quagsire. So they're still ABA weak to Talon, kind of. I guess it's more neutral in the lead. So I did come up with a team sort of like this in the team building one with Licky in the front, but it's never been my greatest ability to have a safe swap lead. I do try them out because I know they're good, but I do prefer ABB comps. I mean, y'all know that if you've watched any of my videos. So, all right, that's going to be it for day 1 of Sunshine Cup. Again, wanted to go for the double dark theme. I mean, that's how y'all come to this channel, right? The Vergyverg. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make a Shadow Flygon team. I think that is the best mon in the cup. I think Shadow Quagsire is going to have its last hurrah here. It's kind of like the last dance for it because it's just not as good and open anymore. So definitely going to use those 2 mon, maybe together on the same team, maybe not. Again, haven't seen that much jump fluff. Probably would stay away from it just because of the Dunsparce, the Licky, the Talonflame. Those are kind of everywhere. Maybe less so the Talonflame, but not by much. Talonflame's still going to be a lot of usage, but I do think Dunsparce is probably the #1 usage in this cup. If I was to guess, I don't have any numbers. So if you want to have things that beat that. But then again, it is neutral against a lot of things, so I figure that's why people are using it. Anyways, if you haven't, definitely subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know what you're using in the comments below for this cup, if you're using any of the teams I described below, any of the teams from the team building video, or if you want to try this team out. I will say this team was very hard because Obstagoon, I think, is not the best Darkmon. Is there another Darkmon in this cup? Let me pull up PvPoke real quick since you're already at the end of this video, right? So we'll go to rankings, Sunshine Cup, Dark type, Incineroar. That doesn't seem great. Shiftry seems good though. Maybe I'll try Shiftry out. All right, see y'all in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.